Articles? What are articles? Are they important? When do I use them? Hey guys, what's up? Do you have questions like this? Do you know what articles are? Do you know how to use them? Are you using them correctly? If you're not sure, if you have any doubts, stay tuned because this video I'm making right now was made specifically for you. Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Mr. Finn here once again to help you out with some English. Now today I want to talk to you guys about articles. What are articles? Well, let me give you an example. After the long day, the cup of tea sounds really good. Or, after a long day, a cup of tea is really good. What's the difference? Well, when I use the, I'm talking about a particular long day and a particular specific cup of tea. When I'm using a, I'm talking about any particular long day and any cup of tea will do fine. You see? That, in of itself, is the difference. Specific and non-specific. So, let me go a little further. To put it plainly, articles are used with nouns. No other words but nouns. The three articles in English are a, an, and the. Now, the English learner, like you, needs to make a decision noun by noun on which article to use. The native English speaker, like me, use the articles correctly instinctively. But the English learner, that's you, needs some kind of guidelines on when to use which article. Now, with that being said, we have to remember there are three articles to use, but we often have four choices to make. What are those choices, you might ask yourself? It's simple. Sometimes we don't use an article. So the most important thing we need to do is identify the noun as either countable or uncountable. And I'll go into much more detail about these two different nouns in another video. But to make it simple, a countable noun is a noun that you put a number in front of it and you can make it plural. For example, 1 teacher, 3 books, 76 trombones, and 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, right? And on the contrary, uncountable noun, you cannot put a number in front of it, nor can you make the noun plural. You can't say 1 water, 2 airs, 10 lux, 40 informations. These nouns themselves aren't countable. Now you can ask yourself, Mr. Finn, I've heard someone say, would you like a water? Would you like a water? All right, yes. There are situations where you can't say a water or 1 water, but this is in particular to like a bottle of water, a cup of water, right? This is when we kind of already know what we're talking about, and then it's okay. But as far as water itself, it's uncountable. It's uncountable. You look at the quantity of water, not 1 water. Get the idea? Wonderful. So let's continue. Let me cover a few grammar rules dealing with articles. Back to countable. Now, countable nouns can use any of the articles, a, and the, in front of the noun. When a countable noun is singular, you must, you hear that? You must use an article, specifically a or an, right? Now, if the countable noun is plural, you don't use any article if you're speaking about that noun in general. But if you're speaking about that noun in specific, whether it be singular or plural, you're gonna use the. Also, the subsequent or the second time you're talking about the same noun, let's say you're telling a story and you mention something, the next time you say it, you're going to use the, because the is making it specific because you've already mentioned it. Hope that makes sense. If the listener you're talking to knows what you're talking about, you use the. The is for specific nouns. All right? Wonderful. Now, uncountable. So contrary to countable, you do not use a or n. You can't, because by default, a or n is for singular nouns. And as we've seen, these nouns are uncountable. They can't be singular, so you will not use a or n. You will use no article if you're speaking about this uncountable noun in general, and you'll use the if it's specific. All right, so it's pretty simple. Okay, now let's go further. So, what is the difference between a and n? A lot of you have already learned studying English in English classes and an English course. The teachers will teach you that a you use with a noun that has a consonant, and n you use a noun that starts with a vowel. Okay, they're not wrong, technically, but it goes deeper than that. Not only does a go in front of a noun that has a consonant and n goes in front of a noun that has a vowel, technically it goes in front of the sound. You see, there are many cases where the noun starts with a consonant but has a vowel sound. All right? You want some examples? I'll make a list here. We have a and we have n. So, a chair, an armchair, a tree, an apple tree, a CD player, an MP3 player, a bird, an eagle, a banana, an orange, a clock, an hour, a teacher, an English teacher, and a book, and an algebra book. Now, you notice two of these here start with a consonant. We have an MP3 player and we have an hour. Now sound those words out. MP3, MP3. The letter M, when you say the letter M, it has a vowel sound. It starts with like an E sound. M. You see? N, MP3 player. And hour. See this word hour? We don't pronounce the H. It's not hour, like howdy, or how. No, it's hour. You swallow that H sound. There's no H sound, right? So that's the technical rule. It's not just A and N in front of a vowel or consonant, but it's A or N in front of a vowel or consonant sound. I'll give you another great example. The letter U. The letter U, right? You could say a university or an umbrella. A unicorn and an underdog. Okay? You probably think, what's an underdog? An underdog is a person who you don't expect to win in a competition. They're the underdog. Anyways, you get the idea? So, let me give you some guidelines here. Let me give you some guidelines and some example sentences on using the articles and when not to use the article. So, remember, you use no article if you're speaking with an uncountable noun in general. For example, help! I need help. All right? Help. It's uncountable in general. Or, I don't eat cheese. That's not true. I love cheese. But for an example, I don't eat cheese. Do you like music? You see, each one of those sentences, the noun is uncountable and it's in general. Now, remember, we're going to use the if the noun we use is specific, or if it's the second or subsequent time we're talking about it, or if the listener knows what we're talking about. So, I asked for help. I'm going to say, thanks for the help you gave me yesterday. And I didn't eat the cheese because it was green. Did you like the music they played at the party? So you see, with those 6 sentences, the first 3 in general, and the second 3, I was being specific. So in general, no the, specific, the. Now, using a or n. If we're talking about a countable noun in general, and it's singular, it has to have the article. It must. So, let me ask you, can I borrow a pencil, please? Or, hey, look, there's a cat in the garden. And a nonsense question, but do you have an MP3 player? Now, just like the uncountable noun, if we're going to speak about that noun specifically or subsequently after already talking about it, we're not going to use a or an, but we're going to use the. So hey, where's the pencil I lent you? Huh? Or that cat? I think the cat belongs to the neighbor. And finally, I had one, but I dropped the MP3 player in the toilet. So, dealing with countable nouns, remember, if they're plural now, and we mean them in general, there's no article needed, right? So, I don't like cats. That's not technically true. I am more of a dog guy, but for an example, I don't like cats. Do they have children? Or how about this one? I don't need questions. Give me answers. You see, each one of those, the noun is plural and we're speaking in general. So my final guideline for you English learners dealing with articles. These rules about articles are used whether or not there's an adjective or no adjective in front of the noun. We need to understand that the article is connected to the noun. If the noun is singular, we need the article. But depending on the adjective, it has an influence on the article, right? If the adjective has a vowel, then the article is going to be an N. Get the idea, right? So like the example I gave before, a teacher, and then an English teacher. You see, the article's with the teacher, but now that I have the adjective English, we need to change the article. So the article is still in relation to a single noun, but because English is with the vowel, you have to have it at the end. That's really important, right? So, I don't eat green cheese. Can I borrow a red pencil, please? Or there's an extremely large cat in the garden. And then finally, I don't like loud, noisy children. So guys, that's it. I hope this video made sense. There's a lot of little details in it. Feel free to pause the video and take notes, and don't forget to practice. Remember, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes. Let me tell you something. Making mistakes is part of the process. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying. You gotta try. Get out there, leave your comfort zone, and practice your English. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Mr. Finn, and I'll see you in the next one.